could I introduce Captain Natka? And Captain Natka, could you tell me how long you've been captain of the Hanseatic, please?
Well, actually, I've been on the Hanseatic from the very beginning, when she was put in service in March 1993, so for almost 22 years now. But I started off as a chief officer and I became captain of this ship in 1999, and since then I've been her permanent captain.
And how many Arctic and Antarctic trips have you actually taken to date on the Hanseatic, would you say?
Well, I didn't count the Arctic trips. I just have a private count of the Antarctic trips, and that comes to 82.
Wow.
So far, and together with all the Arctic trips, that may be more than 150.
Wow, that's very impressive. And could you tell me what your most exciting and memorable trip has been so far to date?
That's very hard to say, because there are so many exciting and memorable trips altogether over the course of more than 20 years. But to start with a recent adventure, that was definitely the Northeast Passage that the Hanseatic took recently. And that was the first transit of a non-Russian passenger vessel through the Russian Arctic, the so-called Northern Sea Route, a 4-week trip from Alaska to Norway, and that was full of new experiences and adventures and small things to remember, and that is definitely a memorable trip.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Why would a potential passenger choose Hanseatic over and above all the other luxury expedition vessels?
I think there's something unique to the Hanseatic. In the first place, it's the only 5-star expedition ship in the world, rated by the Berlitz Cruise Guide. So you travel in luxury, and of course you travel in safety, because we are also featuring the highest ice class that the passenger ship can have, which is the ice class E4. Given by our classification society, the German Lloyd.
Thank you. What can a potential polar expedition client expect from the Hanseatic?
Well, besides a luxurious environment and the highest ice class, as I mentioned already, we offer a very familiar atmosphere. We are only carrying 180 passengers, and they are looked after by more than 120 crew members. And of course, on each Arctic or Antarctic trip, we have a number of lecturers, maybe 5 or even 6 lecturers, depending on the region. So you can expect to be entertained by lecturers. You will have lectures on board, and you of course do your shore excursions together with lecturers. And we have a fleet of no less than 14 Zodiacs, which we use to either shuttle the passengers ashore or offer them Zodiac cruise.
And finally, what message do you have for anyone thinking about a potential polar expedition for the future, either for the Arctic region or for Antarctica?
Let's say about the Antarctic, because that is my favorite cruising area, and I've been down there with thousands of passengers. Most of them are well traveled, well educated, and all of them come back and they say that was the trip of our lifetime, the best trip ever, and that's why you should go there to actually see it yourself, to enjoy the animals, the landscape, the ice. That's next to nothing.